A leading Brexiteer has hit out at the Electoral Commission after police dropped an investigation into the spending of Leave.EU, which campaigned for Brexit ahead of the 2016 referendum, saying it had insufficient evidence to continue. The attack was made by Aaron Banks, who co-founded the campaign in 2015, who said the commission had targeted Brexiteers whilst almost completely ignoring the other side. He also accused MPs on the House of Commons Digital, Culture, Media and Sport Select Committee, which has investigated a number of pro-Brexit campaigns, of using the police as political tools against Leave campaigners. The Metropolitan Police announced earlier this week that it would be taking no further action against Leave.EU. They became involved after the Brexit campaign group was fined £70,000 and referred to the police by the Electoral Commission, who claimed Leave.EU had exceeded the permitted spending limit. Writing in the Daily Telegraph, Mr. Banks said, "The establishment has shot every single piece of ammunition it has to prevent Brexit, and it's gone even further with attempts to smear, financially ruin and even imprison those who defeated it in the vote." Today, after years of investigations, questionings and corrections, I can say Leave.EU and I have been completely vindicated. Britain's election watchdog has spent hundreds of thousands of pounds of taxpayers' money going after Brexit supporters while almost completely ignoring the other side. Leave.EU was closely backed by Nigel Farage, who now leads the Brexit Party. Ahead of the 2016 referendum, it applied to become the official Leave campaign, but was defeated by the Boris Johnson-fronted Vote Leave. Dominic Cummings, formerly the campaign director of Vote Leave, is now a special advisor to Mr. Johnson and Downing Street, announcing it was taking no further action against Leave.EU. The Metropolitan Police said, "It is clear that whilst some technical breaches of electoral law were committed by Leave.EU in respect of the spending return submitted for their campaign, there is insufficient evidence to justify any further criminal investigation." In response, Mr. Banks urged the Electoral Commission's head to resign. He also called for a formal inquiry into the Electoral Commission's behavior. A spokesman for the Electoral Commission commented, "It is right that regulatory and enforcement authorities fully investigate concerns about potential breaches of the law." It sanctioned Leave.EU after concluding the group broke the permitted referencing spending limit for registered campaigners who weren't political parties. Mr. Banks added, "After the false allegations and a witch hunt surpassed only by the Mueller investigation into non-existent Russian collusion in the US, it is time for the Electoral Commission to be shut down. Ramonas love to tell us how stupid, racist or decrepit we are. They love to claim the Brexit vote was the result of Russian interference, or a bus, or criminals persuading 52% of the country to vote to leave. Now every one of their arguments is crumbling. Today Leave.EU and 17.4 million Brexit voters can relish in the fact that they beat the establishment." Mr. Farage, who worked closely with Leave.EU, went on to take over the leadership of the Brexit Party earlier this year. The new faction proceeded to win May's European Parliament elections in the UK. Mr. Farage has since called for a pact between the Brexit Party and Conservative Party to ensure an EU exit takes place and Jeremy Corbyn doesn't become Prime Minister. However, senior Conservative sources have repeatedly rejected the suggestion. Mr. Johnson had pledged to take Britain out of the EU by the 31st of October, if necessary without an exit deal. This is now in question, as Parliament has passed a law making this illegal without either its approval or a formal withdrawal agreement.